Good morning and welcome to Rose Red Homestead. And this is the first video that we have done since my birthday. And I just want to thank all of you who wished me a happy birthday. Thank you so very much. It was a wonderful celebration with 5 of my 6 children came and they were at our house all day long on my birthday. And then we went out to eat and it was just glorious. It was so much fun. And in a couple of weeks, my sister Cindy, who lives up north near Salt Lake City, is going to be throwing me another birthday bash with our siblings. And I'm not sure how many of the 9 of us will be there, but I think it will be most of us. So we may bring you along a little bit with that one. Cindy is going to make cherry pies, and we're going to do a cherry pie video in her kitchen. And so you can watch for that one to come a little bit later this month. Today, and the other thing is, I want to thank you so much for supporting our Birthday Bash book sale. And I was especially gratified to see how many of you are purchasing Cindy's and my food storage book. It is a wonderful book, and it is 244 pages. It includes recipes, it includes charts and graphs with showing you how you can take 2 weeks of a menu plan and then repeat that every 2 weeks until you have a year's supply of ingredients for the recipes that are in that book. And then you can adjust it using your own recipes as well. Plus, we have many other books too. So we'll have more sales coming up a little bit later in the year. And if you have suggestions for a new book, you might want to suggest that in the comments for this video. Today, we are going to fix breakfast. And we're going to do it a quick and easy way using things that we already have in our freezer, in our pantry, and in our refrigerator. And so this is really a level 1 food storage recipe, and it is just perfect for cooking for 2. And we've had a lot of requests for that. So we are going to be making eggs and biscuits in the same air fryer drawer. So let's get started. I have the biscuit mix ready to go with all of the dry ingredients, and this is the biscuit recipe that is in our bread book on page 56. Now, I have made one adjustment to it because whenever I make a full batch of biscuits, we eat 2 or 3, probably 4, 2 a piece for breakfast. And then the remaining ones, I just put in a plastic bag and put out on the countertop. And then we snack on those over the next couple of days until they're gone. Well, that's one way to do it. Another way to do it, which is I'm going to demonstrate today, is to make that recipe up as a dry mix. Keep it in your refrigerator, and then you can make only 2 biscuits if you're a family of 2. And that's what we're going to do today. So I had to adjust this to make it shelf stable. Instead of using wet buttermilk, I used our freeze-dried buttermilk, and it's nice and flaky. It's very easy to do if you have a freeze dryer. If you don't have a freeze dryer, then you can purchase dried buttermilk and use it the same way. So I put the dry flakes in the dry mix right here. And I won't be adding the liquid until I'm ready to actually mix up the biscuits. Then in place of the butter, or in our case, ghee, I have just put this in the freezer to get it nice and cold. I use ghee, which is shelf stable. This would not work with regular butter to keep out on the countertop. Which you can do. The reason that it is shelf stable, but the reason that I keep it in the refrigerator is for the chill. I like the method with biscuits is to mix it up with cold ingredients. And so when I do this dry mix and use the ghee, that makes it shelf stable, and putting it in the refrigerator keeps the ghee chilled. And then when I'm ready to add the liquid, I simply add cold water, and that reconstitutes the buttermilk flakes that are in there. So to the dry ingredients, I've just added the ghee, and I'm now going to just use my fingers. And Just for the record, because we've been dinged recently by someone who said I never wash my hands. Well, I wash my hands all the time. I don't do it on camera very often because our camera time is precious and I don't need to show me washing my hands. Just I wash my hands all the time, and before we get started on a food video, I always sanitize my countertop using Stearamine. And so we're good to go. So with this ghee now, I'm just breaking it into small pieces, combining it with the flour until we get to a point where the mixture is mealy, like cornmeal. And this is going to take me a couple minutes to do, so we'll come back when I'm done with this. So this is a beautiful bouquet of flowers that my youngest son got me for my birthday, so I'm really enjoying that. And I wanted it to be in the video today, so it just reminds me of my birthday celebration. So our mixture is ready, and when I do butter for a mixture like this, I flatten it into little leaves sort of things, and it just seems to help the dough rise, the biscuits rise in the oven. Okay, so now this is now our shelf-stable dry mix, and it is ready to go into a quart jar and go into the refrigerator. One of the things that I'm definitely going to be doing with this is taking it with us when we go camping, because it will just be so easy to mix up a couple of biscuits and then do this breakfast anytime we want to, and I won't have any leftover biscuits, and I can have biscuits anytime we want. So now, since we are going to be doing biscuits, I'll show you how I do those. Per biscuit, I measure out a heaping fourth cup of the mixture. So I'm going to be doing 2 biscuits today. Not quite that heaping. And now we are done with this mix, and I will package it up in a quart jar and get it in the refrigerator a little bit later. But right now, the ghee is still very cold, and so I'm going to go to my refrigerator and get cold water, 1/4 of a cup, and add. So I'm using very cold water. And then I'm just going to mix this up with a fork. Might be too runny. Oh no, it's hardening up great. Okay, so we're just going to give this a few minutes for the flour to absorb the water, and the buttermilk is now reconstituted, so we're going to set that aside and just let it sit. Now for the egg part, and these are the little cups that we're going to be using. These are silicone egg poaching cups. They are not the egg bite cups like you get at Starbucks. And these work just great. I also am going to be doing a video with those other ones, but these are a little bit larger and very convenient for doing biscuits and eggs in the same drawer, which is what we are going to do. So what I do whenever I put eggs either in the Instant Pot, which we'll show at a later video, or today it's going in the air fryer, I have a standardized egg base that I use. And for Jim and me, it's going to be 2 eggs, and these eggs my daughter brought over for my birthday from her chickens. So we have 2 really lovely fresh eggs, a green one and a brown one. And to that, I add a tablespoon of plain Greek yogurt, 1 tablespoon per egg. And this kind of stabilizes the eggs and gives it a very nice lift and a nice little bit of a tang. And then this is the egg base with a little salt and pepper. So I'll get that in right now too. I'll fix that later. And then I'm going to add the extras. And you can put in about a tablespoon, about 2 or 3 tablespoons of extras, whatever you want. For my extra, I've got some of our omelet add-ins. That was a frozen mix. This came from the freezer this morning, so part of our integration of the freezer, pantry, and refrigerator. So this is peppers of 3 colors, some onions, some sliced mushrooms, and some little tiny squares of ham. So we've got some meat and some veggies there. And then I'm also going to put in about a tablespoon of cheese per egg. And because Jim is, as we all know, such a cheese lover, those are going to be quite generous tablespoons. I'm just going to whip this mixture up. Now, an alternative to this, also that we could use easily in our trailer, is to not travel with fresh eggs, but rather use our freeze-dried eggs. So this is our little omelet. To ensure that we have nothing sticking, I'm just going to give these a very light coating of spray cooking oil. And then I'm going to, in 2 of these, put the egg mixture. In the other 2, I'm just going to do drop biscuits, and this dough has firmed up very nicely. So you can see how simple and easy this breakfast is, provided you have the ingredients on hand that are needed. I think I got a little more on this side, so I'm just going to borrow a little piece.
When are you going to pay it back?
Not going to. So here is one of our air fryer drawers. I'm going to just put the eggs in. And the biscuits. And let's go over to the air fryer. So this is my air fryer. It's a Ninja. I absolutely love it. I learned about it a couple of years ago from my assistant who does a lot of air fryer cooking, and she turned me on to this. And I thought, this is much too big for just 2 of us. And there were also just 2 of them in their household. And she said, oh, you're going to use both drawers a lot. And she was absolutely right. I do. So I'm going to turn it on. We are going to turn it to bake. 325, I want that temperature up to 350. And then for the time, let's just go ahead and start it. 14 minutes, I want that time up. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So I'm going to cook it for 20 minutes. And so we will come back when our, yes, let's go ahead. It started now counting down. So we will come back when everything is all done and you can see this wonderful breakfast. All right, here they are. What do you think, Jim?
They look interesting. Don't burn yourself.
No, I'm not going to. Okay, for you and for you. Now the eggs are looking a little bit dark on the top, and that is pretty standard when you do things in the air fryer like this. But they are done, and that I ended up putting a little bit of cheese on the top. I'm just going to give you a close-up look at the egg. So there it is right there, and we'll turn these out. Okay, biscuits are nicely done. Brown on the top, and the eggs will come out nicely.
We hope they will.
Well, mine did. So there's mine.
Yeah,
Little mound of egg.
over. I didn't know we were going to turn it over.
Yeah, we can turn it over. Okay, so are we ready to do this?
I guess we are.
Okay, so I'm going to open my biscuit. So I'm going to put some ghee on my biscuit. You want some as well?
Yeah, that'll be fine.
And then I've got apricot jam if you want some.
That sounds good to me.
The biscuit is done beautifully on the inside. Jim is reaching for the salsa. Here's the apricot jam.
Getting me confused. We've got too much going on.
I know. Okay, taste test for the egg. Having a little egg with your salsa, are you?
Oh, absolutely. At least it's not ketchup.
That's true. I can be grateful for that. Well, I think the egg is wonderful.
That's very good, especially with the salsa on top. The bits of pepper, the onion is there, the ham bits. Looks good, it tastes good.
And the little crusty on the top doesn't
Yeah.
bother you?
It's supposed to be cheese. Of course that's going to bother me.
No, it didn't bother me either. It didn't taste burned at all. It was just a
No,
little bit
no.
browned, and it works just fine. So this is really, really nice. And the biscuits are wonderful. Do you want to take
Yeah,
a bite
I'm
of the
gonna take
biscuit?
a bite of the biscuit.
Done all the way through, nice and light and airy. So this is such a quick and easy breakfast to do, and it comes together very fast if you have all of the ingredients, like the little pepper bits that we had in the freezer for the I call it omelet add-ins. That frozen, we had a whole gallon bag of those frozen, and we're now down to we probably have 2 or 3 more uses, and then I'm going to have to make
Yeah.
another big batch, because that has been so very useful. And then the cheese and the eggs from the refrigerator, and the dry ingredients for the biscuits from our pantry, and there is a perfect integration of our freezer, refrigerator, and pantry for a level 1 breakfast meal that is quick and easy to do, and one that we'll have fun with in our trailer as well. And the versatility of the mix, which I've already jarred and put in the refrigerator, is that I can either make drop biscuits the way we do here, or I can make not add quite so much liquid, and then the dough will be drier, and I can roll that out and make
Real biscuits.
real. These are not real, but you like them little round, perfect
Yeah,
things,
little,
little
yeah.
top hat biscuits.
Oh, absolutely.
So we have had fun with this today. I will put the recipe for the egg mixture right below the video so you can have it. And just remember, the top part is the standardized egg mix, and then the add-ins are of your choice. You can just be as creative as you want to. So have fun with this, and thanks so much for being with us, and we will see you again very soon.
Take care.